Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we're diving into a critical development in the ongoing war in Ukraine, a conflict that has reshaped global politics, devastated countless lives, and left the world searching for answers. Now, there's a new demand on the table, and it's coming straight from Moscow. Russia has made it clear. Any peace deal must include a guarantee that Ukraine will never join NATO. Let me repeat that: never. According to Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko, this isn't just a preference, it's a non-negotiable condition. He is calling for what he describes as ironclad security guarantees to ensure Ukraine remains neutral. But what does that mean for Ukraine? For NATO? For the rest of the world? Well, it's complicated. This demand strikes at the heart of the conflict: Ukraine's sovereignty and its right to choose its own alliances. And it's not just about NATO, it's about the balance of power in Europe and beyond. At the same time, there's talk of a ceasefire. The United States and Ukraine have proposed a 30-day pause in the fighting. And while Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed some support, he's also laid out a list of tough conditions. One of the biggest challenges: how to monitor and enforce a ceasefire along the volatile eastern front line. It's a logistical nightmare, and both sides know it. And then there's the issue of territory. This is where things get even more contentious. Last year, Ukraine launched a military operation in Russia's western Kursk region, briefly capturing some ground. Putin now claims that Russian forces have regained full control of the area and have isolated Ukrainian troops. But this isn't just about Kursk. Russia currently controls about 20% of Ukraine's territory. That's 1/5 of the country. And the question of what happens to that land, whether it's returned, annexed, or something in between, remains a massive hurdle in any potential peace deal. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky isn't holding back. He's accused Putin of deliberately trying to sabotage diplomatic efforts to secure an immediate ceasefire. And let's be honest, Zelensky has every reason to be skeptical. This war began with Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, and since then, we've seen countless promises, negotiations, and so-called agreements fall apart. But there's another player in this story: the United States. U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff, who recently met with Putin in Moscow, has hinted that a direct call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Putin could happen soon. Trump, as you may remember, campaigned on promises to end the war in Ukraine. He even claimed he could end the conflict on day one of his administration. Now, whether or not that's realistic is up for debate. But one thing is clear: Trump is eager to play a role in these negotiations. So, where does this leave us? Honestly, it's hard to say. The war in Ukraine has dragged on for years, leaving behind a trail of destruction, heartbreak, and uncertainty. Entire communities have been wiped out, families have been torn apart, and millions of people are still living in fear, wondering if peace will ever come. But here's the thing: this isn't just a story about Ukraine and Russia. This is a story about all of us. It's about the kind of world we want to live in. A world where diplomacy triumphs over destruction. A world where leaders are held accountable. A world where peace isn't just a distant dream, but a tangible reality. So, what can you do? First, stay informed. Don't look away. This conflict may feel far away, but its impact is global. Second, share the stories of those affected. Amplify their voices. And finally, demand action. From your leaders, from your communities, from yourself. Peace isn't just a political goal, it's a human necessity. The road ahead is long, and the challenges are immense. But together, we can push for a future where hope outweighs fear, and unity overcomes division. Let's not give up. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more updates as this story unfolds.